Ladies and gentlemen, I'm yours truly, the legend himself, Labzy, aka the best motherfucker you ever met in the history of your life. And I can prove it too, even though I shouldn't. The most loyal, the most honest, and the most respected. Now, we are officially in December. And the final month of the year. So I'm thinking of doing something a little bit different. So there's going to be 3 episodes basically in one, and then when they're done, obviously I'll chop them up and I'll put them into different episodes. And it'll be the season finale of Real Talk with Labzy before January. And what a way to end it with having 3 guests on my show. Not just 1, but 3. And I already have my first guest ready, up and going. When I tell you this man of poetry is absolutely insane. What I love about his work is that he knows how to just enjoy being a poet. He just loves being a poet. He just enjoys being a poet, and I fucking love that shit, bro. Fucking love that shit. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you NIco, aka Flash Poet. How are you, sir?
Good, my friend. How you doing?
I'm good, man. On top of the moon right now, brother.
Beautiful.
And yeah, but as I was saying, bro, like what I love about your performances, because the stuff that I see on social media as well, like you just, it's like your mind is just constantly nothing but poetry, right? Now, I could be wrong. I mean, obviously, this is just from what I can see. So, and I've always loved your energy because there is passion with you. I can hear it. I can see it. Now, the reason why I wanted you to for you to be on my show as well is because to help understand where does this come from. So you're going to have to take this back for me. Uh, where did this inspiration of music and poetry come from?
Yeah, thanks. It's I actually had a realization the other day that I hadn't really had before. And when I was growing up, I was a math kid. I was good at math. My dad's Chinese, my mom's Indian, so somewhat predetermined. And I was good at math, and I was, headed on the path to basically just like go down engineering, physics, this kind of thing. And I had an epiphany at some point about the different kind of lives that you would live if you had followed maths versus poetry and words and language. And in the end, I think I decided to go with language because you can't, you know, tell someone about a quadratic equation in a bar and have them like you. But poetry is the language, it's the currency of all people. Words and language are it's pretty much the best bridge we have between our private worlds and whatever private experience we're having in our minds. And I think realizing that, and just always loved reading and writing, I just kind of realized that I am in the marketplace of words, and that is going to be my currency that I use to offer something to the world and to discover really what is possible in this life.
Okay. So when it comes to having the courage to be like, you know what, I'm going to now go into this. I want to give this a try, have a microphone in my hand and see how we go. Like, when was that moment for you? How long ago was that?
Yeah, that was probably about 4 years, I'd say, ago now. I was writing a lot. I had written a book of poetry, and that took me 3 years to write, and kind of like kickstarted my journey as a writer. And I think after finishing that book, I was wondering what I should do next. And a part of me was like, I don't want to go back to just being in solitude and writing, because it's quite an insular activity. And then, as fate would have it, I got called up at a jam, at an open mic jam, and they were like, "Come on, just riff." Started riffing and telling this story, and did a bit of, had done a freestyle a few times, as like all young Australians do, I think, when they're growing up. And yeah, just kind of like pulled it off and people loved it. And the next day my friend was like, you got to go out on the street and do that for strangers. And I was like, well, that seems like a ridiculous idea. At the time, I was like,
Yeah.
I played guitar, so I went out with my guitar, and I was kind of using that as a shield of being like, look, I can play guitar, but now do you want to hear a rap? And yeah, I just rapped with some people at the front of IGA in Warrandyte, and in the first hour, I'd made like $30 just doing this freestyle poetry rap thing. And from that point, I was like, huh, that was the easiest money I ever made. I better I better keep going.
Yeah. And it's also, it's not just that, you're also doing it with something that you enjoy as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, for sure. I mean, the idea of like the job I was working at the time, I was like, wow, if I could do this, instead, and definitely, of course, wasn't about the money. I think if anyone gets into poetry for the money, like there's something
Yeah.
seriously wrong with you. But yeah, yeah, for me, language has always just been a powerful and an inspiring thing. Like I love hearing a lyric from an artist and it's something just detonating in my brain and the world opening up in a way, like I feel my experience of life has been enriched just so much by people who have taken the time to put things into words in the right way, and also to people who know how to express themselves and really get their point across and embody what they're saying. And those two things, the world of writing and literature, and then the world of living it and breathing it and embodying it and using all these tiny little modes of communication that we have in life to bring it all together. And yeah, that's what freestyle rap kind of is the culmination of for me.
Okay. No, I love that. Now, talk to me about support. Now, there's always you got two types of creators, the one that do have the support from family and friends and the ones that don't. Which which one are you and how and if you feel that you don't get the support, how do you just have the courage to just do what you want to do anyway?
Yeah, yeah, it's a good question. Well, growing up, it wasn't, I definitely had to earn my stripes as an artist. I think that was not the path that was planned for me. I was enrolled in physics at university, and it was more a straighter path. And so, yeah, I kind of just did it in secret until I was good enough, and then I was like, "Hey, Dad, check this out." So I didn't come forth with a proposal of like, I want to quit my engineering path and
Yeah.
pursue rap. It was more like, I moved degrees a few times and yeah, I definitely had to kind of like get my skills up before I kind of said, hey, I'm serious about doing this full time. And yeah, so there was definitely, I think most kids have parental expectations always in their heads, and that doesn't always line up with what their soul wants them to do. And so, on that in that sense, yeah, I had there was some obstacles to overcome, but I think overall, my parents and my friends, no one's really gonna enthusiastically support you when you say, I'm going to be a freestyle rapper. Everyone's kind of like, okay, good luck.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was just me kind of just saying, oh, I've got to know for myself that this is actually something worth pursuing. And as time has gone on and they've seen that my passion for the craft and for the mission I'm on is very real, it's yeah, been amazing to just have so many people support, so many friends just helping me out with recording, with jams and gigs and stuff. And so at this point in the journey, I definitely feel very, very held.
Yeah, I like that, man. I like that because especially in going back to what you were saying about when children have the like parents' expectations of kids and stuff like that, especially when you come from culture as well,
Right.
where that plays like a massive role in because there are some still have sorry, excuse me, there are still parents that have that high expectation of their kids where they want to be an engineer or anything involving physics and stuff like that, and anything on the creative side is just only for kids or something like that. When it's like, no, this is the thing that we were gifted to do.
Mm.
And a lot of people have gifts. You have a gift, I have a gift, the people that are watching have gifts as well, right? And what creates the most unique and fantastic stories is that when you have a creative that wants to let their art out to the world, because there's going to be someone out there who needs it. There's going to be
Mm.
someone out there who wants to hear it and really absorb it, right? And it just gets shut down because the parents believe that, oh no, this doesn't pay the bills, that that's not a real career, and blah blah blah. And and I think that it's still a constant battle to fight the people who brought you to this world, right? You
Yeah.
know, and I think and it's crazy, but but I mean, as so you've said that, so you're confident to say that your parents have understood, your family understood what you got to do, and they've trusted you with that.
Yeah, I think yeah, no, at the baseline of it all, at the foundation of it, definitely. Like I think I I think I don't know if this is the case in a lot of Asian families, but
Mm,
in my family, it's like once you graduate high school and you get good grades,
hmm.
you kind of can do whatever you want. It's like, well, my job's done now. I've done all
Yeah.
I can do, push the boat out into the ocean. And so, yeah, the pressure when I was growing up was very, very different than when I turned 18. And yeah, since then, and like my parents know, I'm not slacking around. I'm someone who looks for purpose, I think, over fun. I've
Hmm.
definitely always chosen purpose and meaning over fun, and so I think they trust that, and so yeah, it's been pretty amazing to recently I had my album launched and I had performed on TEDx and my parents were there, my mom was there, and yeah, just like powerful moments to kind of see, from me telling her 4 years ago, hey, I think I can do this like rhyming thing, and then now to be doing things where I've got these epic audiences. It's yeah, I know she'd never say she's proud, but she is.
Yeah, it's that I'm proud of you, but I'm never going to say it out loud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's cultural as well.
Yeah, of course. Me as a Middle Eastern as well. Same
Yeah, I was
thing.
gonna say, where are you from? What's your background?
So I'm Egyptian myself.
Yeah, okay, that's yeah,
So
pretty similar.
yeah, and it's interesting because I come from creatives myself. So my dad was in a band. He knows how to sing. He used to do acoustics, and my uncle used to be a producer and songwriter in Arabic, English, French, and Italian.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
So it's so yeah, we're on the creative side definitely.
Yeah.
And but back to you. So when it comes to now being in the studio and actually recording songs, right? Because there's always that big. I'm confident to say it's a debate because there's always you got two types of artists. The ones that hold their music because being perfectionists in your art, they kind of hold on to it and they're like, oh, I don't think I think it's going to be shit. I don't know what's missing. Da 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 da. But then you have the artists that are like, nah, I like it. I'm just going to release it
Right.
and see how we go from there. Right now, in your journey, was that kind of? Would you say that you had moments where you were holding on to music because you wanted wanted it to be perfect, or do you feel that no, I'm just going to release it? What was going through your mind in these situations?
Yeah, I've always been quite a perfectionist when it comes to making something, writing something, or making music, and that's why freestyle definitely took me by surprise because it's just been such a journey of learning about radical self-acceptance. Sometimes I'll do a freestyle with a big crowd and it won't go like I don't think I performed so well. And because I do this all the time now, I'm on my way to go do a gig, and it's just like I have to just accept in the moment, I have to accept what's coming out of my mouth. And then afterwards, I also have to just accept with as little judgment as possible that the art of freestyle is it's a highline act. Like it's a risky thing to do. You can always fall off, especially when the stakes are super high and someone's like, you've got 2 minutes, like make it count, and you don't
Yeah.
really know what you're gonna say. There's an element of danger, which is part of why I think it's so compelling for people to watch. And so freestyle for me has been an outlet because most of my life I've been a perfectionist and I've written so much music and so much poetry in my life, and not much of it is actually available. And the past album I just released a couple of weeks ago is
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to it and the lyrics on there, I'm proud of every single line on there. Like I really went through and did my best. And so yeah, I've got this cool thing now where I get to have both the best of both. I've got these songs now online that I'm like, wow, I think I'm gonna be proud of that till the day I die. And then I've just got like all this stuff that I'm about to, go do at this gig that I'll never remember. That's just sheerly to honor the moment that is there.
Yeah, I love that, bro. Now, because you did release an album not long ago, tell the people what it's called, and then we'll go through it together. Because I do want to know a bit about the album myself. What's the name of this new album that you got? Tell the
The
people.
album is Reality Now by Flash Poetry.
Okay, beautiful. Now, so now I'm going through it now. So, okay, because reality now you've already got over 3,000 listens on Spotify, which is good. Tell me about reality now.
Reality Now is the first track on the album. It's the title track, and for me, that song it speaks to the midlife crisis that I feel humanity is undergoing on a wider timeline. I feel that we're at this point in society where things don't really make sense like they should. Reality has been flipped on its head, which is a big theme of this album, of all the ways that we've kind of inverted reality. And now we're living in this world where, the people we should admire, our leaders, are the people we have the least faith in and can clearly see have, a couple of things that need addressing, to say
Oh
the
yeah.
least. And, we're walking around in these days, media, what happens in the media, what happens on social media is somehow as real or realer than real life. We've got these things where people care about their image more than they care about their values. We've got all this stuff, everything. Like I've got, endless technology devices, and we don't even know, we can't even pay attention to it like long enough to enjoy it. We've got a lot of what's the Louis C.K. quote? Everything's amazing, but nobody's happy. And
Yes.
and yeah, so I think this first track speaks to a lot of how money is often at the root of what has flipped everything on its head, and not just money, but actually I think a deeper hunger that human beings have to want to transcend humanity itself. And you see it through these, the Silicon Valley billionaires, and what they want to do. They want to leave Earth, they want to leave their bodies, they want to live forever, they want to do all these things and basically stop being human, to give away humanity and enter some kind of god status. And it's about how we're supposed to have myth, I think, and connection to the divine, and instead we have ChatGPT and the prospect of uploading your brain into a cloud.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay. I like that. Now tell me about Bright Lights. Tell me
Right.
about that one.
Yeah, yeah, that was a special one. I made that with one of my oldest friends, an ex-bandmate of mine, when we used to play in indie rock bands together, and me and him made this song together. And
Hmm.
that one's I think more of an interpersonal snapshot of what it's like to be in a club in Melbourne, and it's kind of about the angst and the grimy, the smoky rush that
Mm.
you kind of feel when you're late at night in a club. Everyone's kind of hungry for something. Everyone's a little bit on edge and trying to find something, and it's, I guess, the way that we are searching for something to fill the void inside us, and sometimes succeeding and sometimes failing. But I think it's also about just the loneliness around being in a place where everyone is having lots of fun, but maybe not having so much fun, and everyone's individual experience actually being one of, alienation.
Okay. Oh, I like that one. I'll talk about one more track off the album. Let's pick. Tell me The Secret Life of Urban Trees.
Yeah, that was the second track I released, and That song is about, it's an ode to all the trees in the city that basically have this very alien life for a tree. You know, it's not quite so ideal to be on the corner of a 7-Eleven and a public toilet, but there are trees like that.
Yeah.
And I think for me the whole song it was kind of a funny satirical thing, but it's about the dignity of a tree in the city and the way that a tree is able to stand with this grandiosity and this kind of majesty, even when it's in the midst of the cauldron of fumes and chaos. And it's a lesson, I think, for human beings of, maybe true meaning in life and true purpose does not come from running away and living on a beach in Bali, but maybe it comes from putting yourself in the thick of it where you're actually needed. And these trees in the city, they are badly needed.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right, so I want people. We need people to go get that new album from Flash Poetry. Reality Now is the name of the album. Yeah,
That's right.
man. We need to go get that album. I've got it on Spotify here now because I'm obviously following you here on Spotify too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll definitely have a full listen on it as well. So first of all, yeah, and congratulations on that release as well. How long did that album take to release?
I would say all in all it took a year and a half, but I was pretty much working on it full time. I crowdfunded a bunch of money at the start of the year for it and through Kickstarter. And so yeah, I kind of had this lump of cash and this all these people who had said, yes, we want the album, go and do it. And so yeah, it was actually just like a real blessing to be able to just run away from the city and go out to the bush and make the album. So yeah, it was about a year and a half in total, I'd say.
Okay, yeah, nice. And now, well, tell me about because a lot of people have this this kind of like pressure of putting an album like with your album Reality Now. How did you find the perfect sequence to make the album kind of make sense to make it flow, if that makes
Mm.
sense?
Yeah, that's always a fun and grueling part, I think, of writing an album of music is figuring out how it fits together coherently. But luckily, I guess because all the songs are written pretty much completely by myself, I mean, definitely lyrically, but musically as well, like a lot of my ideas it's from me and my producer. We work together, and so it's all they're all about the same thing in a way, because it's all coming from the way that my mind is refracting the input that I'm getting from life and society. And so to string it all together, yeah, I was actually so happy. It was a beautiful moment to put all the pieces together and just see it and just say, wow, that is, yes, that's gonna like play well on vinyl. The way the album flows, I'm really, really happy with it.
Okay, so would you say, because you said it's kind of like the same thing, would you say it's like the album is like a book and each title is the next chapter in the
Yeah,
book? Does that kind of, that's what I'm kind of getting from what you're saying? Is
that's
that
a great way
would
to
that
put
be
it.
it?
Yeah, for sure. It's the same book, and the book is Reality Now, and the book is about it's a social commentary, more than anything, and pretty much every song on it, even the ones that are about matters of the heart and more personal stuff, is really just a reflection of what I see right now as the snapshot of the world.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Now, I wanted to ask, what makes a good freestyler, in your opinion?
Oh, what makes a good freestyle? Well, what makes a good freestyler? If a freestyler can continuously freestyle for a very, very long time, it's usually a pretty good sign because I feel like if you put on an act or you're trying to be something you're not, you're gonna run out of things to say really quickly. Like you'll be able to kick a verse or two, but I think it's hard to keep on going. And I noticed that about a few people. Some of my friends I freestyle with occasionally, like we can kind of go on forever because we're not trying to be anyone else besides ourselves. I'm not
Mm.
putting on any accent or any lean. I'm kind of rapping in a kind of dorky, very me way, suburban suburban guy way.
Yeah,
And
it's
so,
basically the most authentic way that represents yourself.
yeah, I think you can get somewhere, especially in hip hop. There's obviously an aesthetic and a culture, but I think the ceiling is low if you're trying to do someone else. The ceiling is low, and if you're being yourself authentically, the ceiling is very well. It's non-existent because who knows where your soul's journey and the evolution of your own person can go. And yeah, I so that's definitely one. And there's all the other elements, I suppose, the linguistic capacity, the facility one has with language, and ultimately for me, I'm just all about being comfortable. Like if I'm feeling uncomfortable, I'm
Mhm.
gonna be in my head, and you want to be in your head, but for me, it's really about like trying to hit the flow state, and really get out of the way and let it go, because yeah, when you've been given all these words and you've got 5 minutes to spin a freestyle and there's 100 people there, you kind of there's no time to think about it. If you're thinking about it, you're gonna slip up, and it's gonna be like, I
Yeah.
shouldn't have said that, or what do I say next? And so it's definitely I think a good quality to have as a freestyler is just radical delusional trust.
Okay, I like that. Now, where would you want your music to go? Like, would you want,
Hmm.
would you, can you picture yourself going on tours? Do you picture yourself being international? Like, oh, and also, why do you do music?
Yeah. Well, on the weekend, last weekend, I launched my album at Black Spark, and yeah, we packed the venue. It was completely full, and that for me is, it's a small venue, but having that venue packed and everyone kind of pretty much silent throughout the whole 1.5 hour set. That for me is about as good as it can get. I can imagine if I was playing to twice as many people, it would have felt less personal. But
Hmm.
there was this living room element to it, and I do a lot of talking throughout my set, and so I really loved, yeah, the intimacy of these small crowds. And so if I can just keep playing to these size rooms, I'm actually happy. Like I definitely don't need any big stage for me, because yeah, I know. I played the Asia Music Festival this year, and the people were like 30 meters away from me because I was up on this stage.
Mm.
And it was so much harder for me. I felt
Mm.
like, obviously I had a microphone and big sound system that was great, but it just felt like they couldn't really see me. I couldn't really see them, and it wasn't like we were hanging out. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely keen to play festivals and stuff, but for me, I just love the transmission that occurs between individual people. And yeah, that's been so special for me as to how that has been for just the past year. And why I do music is I've been getting messages since I released my album of people saying, wow, this song, like this line from this song, it makes me think about the world differently, or I can't stop sharing this with my friends. You nailed the consumerist spiritual stereotype here in this song. And yeah, having people kind of send those messages, and then also support me financially and be paying for it, buying my vinyls and buying my merch and stuff. It's it's hard to make money like this, I think, as a small time artist, but just the fact that people are willing to also support it with their time and with their money makes me feel like, oh, what I'm doing, I can see why it's important. I can see why it's important. People saying they're really inspired by my set. People I find inspiring telling me that they find me inspiring. These are things that yeah, I feel like it's just such a blessing to be able to be in this position to give someone the experience that I've been given by artists that I love.
Okay. And going back to what you were saying is that when you're, even if at a small venue, but it fills up the room, and that, would you say that that energy is so much different and so much like unique in a way because you've got this little space, right? And the space is basically belongs to you, which means that your creativity and authenticity is now flowed into this small venue, and
Mm.
now which creates a different level of energy. Would you say that that is more better than doing it at festivals?
Well, I haven't had the chance to play like a big. I imagine it'd be great to do it at a festival if the crowd
Mm,
was packed and there to see you.
yeah.
But I think the thing about intimate gigs is it creates a container, and at a festival there can be no container because there's so much noise, and I think I've been lucky enough, and a lot of my stuff plays well to, yeah, it's like it's definitely like a less of a loud show. It's more of a quieter one and a more of a delicate performance. And so I think I'm definitely in love with this feeling of everyone is locked in, every single person, and if people want to talk, they'll go outside because they can read the room. And so I think inevitably, if you play a bigger show, there's a critical mass that it reaches, and suddenly you don't control the crowd anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really, I think it's just magic. I run an open mic monthly at a place called Transcendence, and I basically mandate that there has to be silence whenever someone's performing. Like, no one's. If you want to talk, like, go outside, because I know I'm a dictator about it, but
Mm.
it's for the performer at an open mic situation. It means everything. If you're competing with people talking, you're not going to give your best performance. And I've just seen magic occur time and time again when everyone is present and there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because you want people to be you want people to be actually in the zone when there's a performance happening to really pay attention to the artist. And as you said, it does mean a lot to the artist as well because they've been given an opportunity to be heard. And then yeah, it is very important to get everyone to really be on board. If they have no choice but to go outside, then they can go outside. It's not really an issue, but don't ruin it for the artist that took the time and wanting to perform on stage, and then for someone to be talking in the audience. No, it doesn't. It's not
Yeah.
fair. You know what I mean?
No,
That's not
no,
fair.
and it's so common. It's so common at open mics. I host the Bar Usu open mic every now and again, and yeah, it's hard. Like, I get it. People want to talk and they don't know who the artist is, but I'm a big fan of reverence.
Mm. Yeah, I like that. Now, tell me, when it comes outside of music, right? First of all, I was supposed to ask as well, which I normally do, which I forgot this time. But how was your mental health?
How is my mental health, or how was
Yeah.
my mental health?
No,
Oh,
how
is it?
is your mental health?
Oh, it's way better after releasing the album.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I
yeah.
ask why? How was your mental health during the release of the album?
Uh, you know,
Stressful?
you know, man, as you know, I care like so much. I care, it's hard for me to be detached. Like, I'm working on the whole spiritual detachment from things, but I really care about what I'm doing. I care about the project that I'm doing so much, and I care about, yeah, life. And I think I'm quite intense in that way. And so, yeah, I do get swept up in the album and how good it is, and if it feels like I'm doing my best, and all the things that come with it. Is this what the world needs? What does the world need? What am I trying to say? All these different questions. And so, the album for the last year and a half has just been this beautiful, annoying roommate in my brain that has just been there the whole time. Like, I haven't, on some level, I haven't been able to relax. It's very rare that I can relax and just like chill out in a hammock, because in my mind I'll be like, oh, I gotta go fix the compression on the bass on bright lights. I'm like, yeah, and that's by no means a complaint, because I love working on a project and just like letting it, it's a struggle, it's a battle. Like, you're fighting this version of this, what you think it could be. And so this is a rare period where I actually don't have a clear project now, because I just finished the album and I'm about to start the next one because I'm keen, and I love, like, yeah, I can't think of anything funner to do,
Yeah.
but definitely enjoying this relief of, wow, you don't have an agenda or a mission right now. You know, you do in the larger scheme of things, but for the purposes of every day, like you can go and enjoy maybe some of the little things in life that you had neglected. I think I neglected some things for sure making the album. And so, yeah, it's been like really, I feel this huge weight lifted. I've been calling friends and just talking to friends I haven't spoken to. So excited for just this period of break where I get to see people I love and play gigs and yeah, I just I well, I'm a busy person as I think you are too. You know, you're a
Mm.
busy guy and there's a beauty to that, and obviously we kind of have to. We feel like we got no choice. We want to do things, you know, we're
Mm.
not just like hanging around, but there is something to be said about, you know, that is our cultural programming. And if you can take a break from that and step away and actually feel what is it to just be, that's a blessing too. And I think it's really nourishing as artists to have that. And so I'm kind of in this period now. So, you know, my mental health has been up and down
Mhm.
over the years. But right now
We good. We
we're
good.
good.
I
Yeah, we're
like
good.
it.
But like good in the sense that like, this can't last.
It's
this
like, no,
isn't
we need to do
normal.
something now.
Yeah, or something's gonna happen, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So now you said you're working on another project, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, how are you, how is this going to outdo the last album, Reality Now?
Haha, now that's a question that will, you know, impact my mental health negatively.
My apologies in advance.
No, that's hey, it's on my mind. I'm like, wow, if I make another album, like I'm really proud of this one. You know, I thought I was just, you know, part of me was like, oh, maybe I'll just release it and no one will listen to it. And that's standard. You know, a lot of people are great, release great music, but people have been listening. My Spotify listeners are going up. People have been buying the vinyl. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I did do a good thing here and people are liking it. And now I guess to keep it, I got to keep it going. And how am I going to top it? And what a beautiful challenge that is because I'm keen.
Okay.
I'm keen. Yeah, I've got some ideas of songs and ways I can up the game musically. But yeah, I feel like just I'm just kind of on the same path and I just keep walking. Nothing's really different.
Okay. It's basically, you don't like you don't check the score, you just keep scoring basically.
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And would you say that you have grown as a person ever since you've released this album?
I think through the process of making the album, I would say definitely.
Hmm.
Since releasing the album, yeah, it's been a couple of weeks now, and you know, it hasn't even hit me. It hasn't fully hit me that I'm done. You know, it's
Mm.
kind of like, yeah, it's a yeah, because I basically lived and breathed this album for a year and a half, and now it's over, and it kind of feels like, you know, my kids have moved out. I'm like, oh, what do
Yeah.
I do? What do I do now?
Mm.
And yeah, you know, I think. I've yet to see if I've grown, to be honest.
Okay. No, I like that.
Yeah.
No, I like that. Now, what would you say what's next? Is it the project? What else has you got going on happening for you? Are there more open mics happening next year? You know,
Yeah,
talk to me.
yeah. Thank you. Thanks for that question. I am going to continue running my open mics at Transcendence. They're monthly. If yeah, they're pretty special because they turn into jams at the end where I get all my muso friends. We have got a full band and we play and everyone gets up and does a thing. Super fun.
Mhm.
Post about it on my Instagram for your followers if they want to come check it out. It's called Holy Fools Open Mic at
Holy
Transcendence.
fools. Okay.
And yeah, so I'm going to keep doing that. And no, for me, I had it was such a big year for me. So many things happened, and I just am excited to further deepen my love for the craft this year and do more of the same, more gigs, playing more, doing, you know, figuring out how far I can push freestyling.
Yeah.
I've been asked to freestyle in all these random places, and it's like, well, where can I go? What can I do with the craft that hasn't been done before, and how can I use it to do something that is valuable to society?
Hmm. So for my last question, how does it make you feel knowing that you've got people that come up to you and say, "Hey, Nico, man, I want to say thank you so much, and I love your music, and it really connects with me." How does that feel knowing that your music, and when people see how you're so passionate and loving for the music, how does that make you feel?
It's a pretty wonderful feeling. Making the music for me is so life giving and so much fun. And the idea, I have this sense when I'm making it, oh, people are gonna like this. Like someone is gonna resonate with this. I would resonate with this. I would love to listen to this kind of music, which is partially why I make it. And yeah, when people do say that to me, it's always a little bit surprising. I'm always like, oh wow, like someone who I don't know will message me saying, oh, I had to share this with, my whole family, this song. And or I love the way that you talk about words in a certain talk about. Sorry, I got distracted by this "I love you" comment by this super fan over here, and
Shout out to Carmen Thea. We love you too.
we love you too. But it's a beautiful thing because yeah, it gives me meaning, it gives me purpose, and it reminds me that what I'm doing is important. Especially in a world where art is not given the importance that it probably should be given. At a time like this where we really need humanity more than anything, and the messy humanity, not the humanity that comes pre-packaged in a Hollywood movie, like the humanity of unfinished, unperfect, imperfect, fragmented human beings just vomiting beauty into the cosmos in each other's presence. And this is, yeah, something that I'm so honored to be a part of and to have the opportunity to inspire people.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that, man. Well, was there anything else you wanted to add or anything like that before you freestyle?
No, you know what? That's all. Hey, and let me ask you. I would
Of
love to
course.
know. I would love to know. Well, maybe for this freestyle,
Yes.
you can give me an answer or a couple of words that come to mind when I say to you, why do you do what you do? Why are you giving artists like me like this platform to be able to share their message?
Because I feel that it's my purpose to do that. It is my purpose to give all creatives a chance to share their story and really just let their story inspire another person because everyone needs that. Everyone needs that because it all comes down to the gift that we all have and it
Mm,
needs to be shared. The story needs to be told, you know? And you can be very surprised on how many stories it can impact and inspire a lot of lives that can motivate them in order to pursue their gifts or pursue their dreams, right?
mm,
Because we are more than just people that do 9 to 5s. We are more than just people that we just do what society tells us to do. We are far more greater than that, and also the world is so much bigger than that. So and that's why I felt that it was my purpose to go out there, connect with people, and allow them to be in a safe space where they can be 100% authentically themselves without judgment,
yeah.
without making the interview sound like an interrogation. It's more of a conversation. And because I basically speak on people that don't understand the actual journey of a creative, well, such as yourself,
Mm,
educating myself, and also this will also help educating people to know what it's like to be a creative. It's not just being on a stage on a mic and making music. It's understanding the other side of the coin of that.
yeah.
So
The
that's
back.
why I do it.
Ah, beautiful. Well, man, I appreciate you doing it, and let me use that spiel as the fodder for this next freestyle.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do
This
it.
is, mind you, and all before you begin, you are the first freestyler on Real Talk with Labzy.
Oh, first freeze.
You're the first freestyler to do it. So, Nico, flash poetry, go right ahead, sir. The
All
stage
right.
is yours.
Labzy, thank you very much. All right, well, I got to say right now, I'm a freestyle madly because I'm here. It is real talk with Labzy, and I'm outbound, and you know that I'm thinking. Well, we are here, and we are just now building a community beautifully and suitably. You and me, man, we could say it's not unity, it's really just harmony between two artists saying what we want to say. Yes, and I'm starting. So when I'm here, and you know I've got bars, spitting them out on the Labzy podcast. Well, I've got to say, please keep an open mind because I'm kicking all these lyrics with the golden mic. He's the man with the golden microphone shining. 2 carat, 3 carat, 4 carat. I'm entwined with the mystery of life, man. And I got to say, I'm just trying to find a wife, man. And maybe I have found one. Maybe she is here. Maybe she's in the room, and maybe it is clear that I am here today just to conquer my fears, your fears. Yes, you know our destiny's so near. It is there, and I can see it in the distance. Well, I got to say, all these lines, statistics coming all around me. Yes, you know I'm surrounded, but I want to feel a little more grounded. So I might stop, and so I might think. Well, I'm here today, and I'm gonna try slink. Cause I got to say, well, you know I'm on the precipice. Yes, Labzy, and he's sharing out these messages of all these artists on their platforms. And I am here, and you know I've got a rap for you and for me. I might just say, well, it's just divine symmetry that I'm speaking, that I am seeing. In the future, I don't get up caught in the minutia. No, I am breathing. I'm breathing inside of the moment. That is my purpose. I own it. I hopefully can now sing it outward bound, and yet you know I'm bringing my full self here to attention because I got to say, oh, well, I got a question. Well, I asked Labzy, why does he do this? Give these people a platform to try and share their message, share their story. All these people from different categories, and they are saying what it means. I can say right now, it's a beautiful time just to be alive. You know, we're going to believe in something a little more, and I could see in the future we could maybe do something that's different. Well, I'm here today, and you know that I got this vision. I got this vision here, and it's filled with the potency, flash poetry. Well, hopefully you know of me. Maybe you will in the future somehow, because we are here. It's reality now. Streaming on all platforms. Yes, you know I'm here just to say, well, what have you said? This shirt has been worn 1,000 times. I'll wear it 1,000 more. Because I am here not to settle the score, not to count the score, but keep scoring. That is what I'm doing, and I'm feeling it's important to be here, speak to humanity, to reflect through my mind this reality. And so I'm gonna put it down now. Labzy, real talk. Peace out.
Man, wow. Absolutely insane, bro. Well done. I really enjoyed it, and I appreciate your kind words, brother. Really
Hey.
appreciate your kind words, man. And I do this, and before we go, I am gonna say this because I give flowers to all the creatives and all the guests that I have on my show, is that you are a successful man. What is a successful man? Is that you are doing what you love doing, you are inspiring people, you are going hard at it, you are doing your best, and whether you get results minor or major, that is a successful person. So you are a successful man, Nico.
Oh, thank you, Labzy. I'm gonna show my mom that bit.
Yeah. If you ever want me to, cut a that little bit
Yeah,
just for
call her
you, I'll
up.
do it just for you.
Yeah, I'll give you a number.
All right. Well, I'll
Thanks,
leave you
brother.
to it. I'll leave you to it, man. Good luck on your gigs, bro. And this will be on YouTube and Spotify on the next week as well. All right. Full
Incredible.
edited and everything. All right.
Thank you for having me, brother.
All right. You enjoy. And thank you for the people that have joined. See you, Nico.
Peace.
Peace, bro.